Cowboys owner Jerry Jones says he's all in for 2024. Do you guys believe that? Because in years past, Jerry's definition of all in certainly looks different than fans. But I have come to find the middle ground in this video. How the Cowboys can become a contender through free agency in 2024. One re-signing of a free agent the Cowboys have this offseason, one middle-of-the-road signing that would shore up a position of need, and one signing that would absolutely break the Cowboys universe. Let me be clear before we start this video, this is not all of the moves that Dallas should make this offseason, but it's a good start. Let's get into the video. Re-sign Tyron Smith. This one might be a bit controversial, but hear me out. I have long been in the camp of letting Tyron Smith ride off into the sunset. He's been injured for a lot of his Cowboys career. But last year, I think the Cowboys might have figured something out with him and his health. Don't let the guy practice. He doesn't need it. Even missing a majority of practices in 2024, Tyron continued to be one of the best tackles in all of football. And when you look at it that way, for me, 12 to 14 games of Tyron Smith in 2024 is worth more than just letting him walk and trying to figure it out along the offensive line. Because it kind of gets a bit wonky if you let Tyler Biadasz walk, you let Tyron Smith walk, then what do you do at the left tackle, left guard, and center positions? I think if you re-sign Tyron Smith for probably a very team-friendly deal, you get your left tackle for 12 to 14 games, go out and sign a swing tackle that can back him up and be better than Chuma Edoga. But we'll save that conversation for a later video. If the Cowboys were to re-sign him, it's most likely on a one-year deal. You get him for 2/3 of the season. I think I'd be happy with that. Now, what Dallas can't do with Tyron Smith is let that signing make up their mind in the draft. This is a pretty deep tackle class, and I like a number of tackles at pick number 24. Tyron isn't a long-term option. This is strictly a 2024 signing. Nothing past that. But for the 2024 season, I think you need Tyron back if you want to have a chance in the trenches and keep this offensive line semi-together. Let me know what you guys think about this down below in the comments. Should the Cowboys bring back Tyron Smith? I know his health is questionable every single week, but if you can guarantee me he's going to play 13, 14, even 15 games, I'm bringing him back for 2024. Linebacker Frankie Luvu. This would feel like a Mike Zimmer move. If you remember in his time with the Vikings, Zimmer was adamant on good linebacker play. That's a staple of his defenses. So the Cowboys' interest in linebackers this free agency is certainly a possibility. No, Mike Zimmer is not going to make Marquise Bell a linebacker like Dan Quinn did. With the question marks around Leighton Vander Esch's career, you have to go out and get a real linebacker. Sure, you have Damone Clark and DeMarvion Overshown, but you can't go into the season with those two guys and a rookie that you drafted in the second round. We know that the linebacker group in 2023 was not good enough. So with this signing, you're getting a veteran presence with real NFL experience and has played at a pretty high level over the past 2 seasons. We'll use the PFF contract projections. 3 years, $30 million with an average value of $10 million per year. Frankie Luvu is a run stopper that this team could really use. He's a tackle for loss machine with serious upside as a blitzer. According to PFF, Luvu has amassed 62 defensive stops against the run since 2022, which ranks 12th among linebackers over that span. Luvu has also had 43 quarterback pressures since 2022, ranking 4th at the position, and his 9.5 sacks ranking 1st. What I think keeps him from being a higher priority in free agency is his coverage ability. It's not far-fetched to say that he's more of a liability in coverage rather than a plus for your defense. But for me, this just feels like a Mike Zimmer guy, and the price tag isn't outrageous. That's why I listed it as a middle-of-the-road signing. Now, if you want to look at a cheaper option at linebacker, you have older guys like Levante David, who PFF has at a 1-year deal for $5 million. and that kind of feels like the Cowboys all in. If you want a higher end option, and one that we haven't really talked about much on the channel, you have Ravens linebacker Patrick Queen, who is also a free agent this year. But for me, if Leighton Vander Esch is done with his career as a football player, I think this team has to go out and get a veteran linebacker that can help stop the run. You can't go into the year with DeMarvion Overshown off a torn ACL. While I do think he's going to be a good player down the road, I don't feel comfortable relying on him for an entire season, especially coming off that injury. It's going to take him some time to get back in, get healthy, and trust himself again. I'm also not going into the year with Damone Clark, who I think really struggled at times last season. And then you would have to draft a linebacker in probably the second round. I think you got to go out and get a proven veteran to shore up that spot, or it could be a real boom or bust next season. But I have one more guy that could surely help the linebackers. Defensive tackle Chris Jones. Chris Jones is the top free agent available across the NFL, and him signing with the Cowboys is a long shot for two reasons. The first reason is the Cowboys drafted a defensive tackle in the first round in 2023, Mazi Smith. Does that really mean anything to me? No, but it will to the Dallas front office. They think they've already invested in the position. Number two, I don't see the team being all that interested in giving Chris Jones a 4-year, $120 million contract at $30 million annually. At least that's what PFF is projecting. It could be a little lower than that, but I highly doubt it. Most of the time, you don't see a player like this become available on the open market at 29 years old. Chris Jones is still at the peak of his career. If you watched the Super Bowl, then you saw Chris Jones and what having an elite interior guy can do to your defense. He single-handedly stopped the 49ers offense on multiple drives. He's one of the best in the business, and someone's going to pay him like it. Are the Cowboys willing to get into a contract negotiation with other teams that want a good interior guy? Probably not. But if Jerry Jones isn't lying to us about going all in, this is the move to make. Could you imagine this Dallas defense with Micah on the edge, Chris Jones in the middle, DeMarcus Lawrence on the other side? Then you have a downhill run-stopping linebacker in Frankie Luvu, Trayvon Diggs on one side, Deron Bland on the other. It would 1000% change how you view this Cowboys defense. But let me reiterate, if we take what the Cowboys have done in free agency over the past couple of years, this is the longest long shot of all time. I just like to dream about the Cowboys making a move like this, so let me dream. So what do you guys think about these three moves? Obviously, it doesn't fix every issue, but it's a good start before you head into the draft. Comment the words mock draft down below in the comments if it should be my next video. Double move mock draft 1.0. Comment the words mock draft. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I love you all, and I'll see you next time. Bye.